Play sequence, lock on, 2 markers. Okay.
Yeah, no, once we found out we were in the final, we knew obviously we were playing Widnes in the final. We just thought it was probably a good move to bring the players down here. Plus it also just freshens the players up a little bit, you know, different training environment, different stimulus, but also the main reason was that they're going to be playing on a plastic pitch, you know, on Sunday, so what better way to prepare than training on it. So it gives them a feel of, because there is a different way the ball bounces, and it's, you know, it's a lot more springier and things like that. So just wanted to get the players to get used to hitting the deck on it, getting off the deck of it, you know, kicking, bounce to the ball, getting a feel for being on this sort of surface. So I think it's been a real benefit to us today. Absolutely, you know, it was good morning. We had breakfast this morning as a group, and yeah, you can just, there's a sense of pride within the group that feel like we've achieved something by getting to the final, but I know for a fact they're not satisfied with that, you know what I mean. You know, they're pleased, but they'll be satisfied once we get the result on the weekend. So but again, there is an excitement, there's a buzz around the place, and you know, everybody's chomping at the bit. I've certainly got nobody on the physio bed this week. Everyone's out in the field training. I mean, which, you know, it's always the case when you make a final, everybody wants to play. So I'm going to have some tough decisions to make this week. There's probably going to be, for the first time this year, there's going to be probably a couple of players that'll miss out. They probably don't necessarily deserve to miss out, but you know, unfortunately, I've got to pick a team that I feel is going to beat Featherstone, or is the right mix or blend of player to beat that team. So you know, so yeah, it's a nice position to be in finally, because I haven't had that luxury a lot this year. The team's pretty much picked itself every week with all the injuries and the players that we've had to go through. So it's a good position to be in. But yeah, the players are excited, you know, and again, like I've said all along, you know, it was a little goal that we'd set ourselves once we, you know, got over the disappointment of not making the top four, that when we came to this Super 8s campaign, that we wanted to qualify for the final and win it. So and that opportunity is still there to do. So first box been ticked by getting here, and now we've just got to go win the thing. So you know, yeah, like I said, we're really excited. Well, we've got to stop their go forward. You know, they're a strong, hard running pack, and they've got some great outside backs that get them on the front foot, and we're going to have to try and nullify that threat, because again they get that's what happened in the last game. You know, we got rolled at the end of the day. They rolled us the second half. They got over the top of us, so we're going to have to work hard defensively to contain that threat. So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of work this week identifying that and trying to do our best to stop that. You know, it's probably an area of our game defensively we have struggled with at times around that middle area within the year, but at times in recent weeks we've been a lot better. But again, on that day at Featherstone a couple of weeks ago, we just weren't quite good enough around the middle defensively, and that for me is where we lost the game. I'm not a big one to plan on a game day. I mean, obviously I'm very methodical, and I think things through in terms of my planning leading into games, and how I want to go about things, and what I say to the players, and how I want to plan things. But in terms of on the day itself, you know, I always tend to find I'll wake up in the morning of the day of the game, and you know, I'll have a bit of an idea of what I want to say to the players, you know, and I'll kind of run it through my head, you know, generally, you know, before we have the team talk, just to go through a few points. I don't like to say too much. I just like to say a few key points that I've been kind of mentioning through the week. I just re-emphasise those again, and just a couple of key points that we need to focus on the day. Sometimes I try and be a little bit motivational. Other times it's more about just being clear and concise on what we have to do. Again, you get a feel for it on the day, really. There's no right or wrong way of doing things. You know, you just get a feel. But I certainly try not to talk too much as I love a chat. But you know, on a game day, it's more about the players should be well equipped and know enough of what they need to do, because we've practiced on the field through the week. We've addressed it in video reviews and previews, and we spoke about things all through the week, so the players have enough information. You don't want to overload them too much on a game day. If they're not ready then they're never going to be ready. So it's just more about a little bit of fine tuning, just highlight a couple of points that you think are really important that they need to focus on. Fair idea of what the 19-man squad's going to be. I'm not sure yet how the 17's going to look. That's the one for me. There's probably 20 players in the mix at the moment, to be honest. So I've got a fair idea what probably the 19's going to look like. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you any 17 at the moment. I'll be honest. I've got most of the players will pick themselves in the starting 13, but yeah, there's a couple of decisions I've got to make within that 13, that starting 13, as well as on the bench as well.